So we really train for anything and everything that could happen. A force on the ground that needs help, whether it's some kind of IED blast and people are entrapped in a vehicle, or if somebody fell down a well or off a cliff and they need technical rescue expertise to help get one of their guys out, or somebody's hurt, they're having a bad day. We hope that those things never happen, but we're training here to ensure that if and when those things do happen, that we're ready to respond. So this gives us the autonomy to integrate with really any ground force. Something that's unique about the Guardian Angel weapon system is we can insert on the ground and link up with really any ground force and in any capacity to provide technical rescue and integrate that air power. It's been great to work with these pilots, the last couple of days to really figure out how they operate as a crew, and for them to work with us to see how we operate as a team and really figure out what's important to each party.
Slow.
Air Force Combat Search and Rescue has slowly gotten a name for itself because of the great work that they've done in that joint environment. There are thousands of people out there from Navy, Marines, Army. When things got real bad and they needed us, we were there and we were able to effectively operate and rescue a lot of people and save a lot of lives. The Department of Defense looks at Combat Search and Rescue or personnel recovery as a critical mission, and we're the only unit within the DoD that is our sole job. Our only job is to day in and day out practice personnel recovery, Combat Search and Rescue. That's something that every day we wake up and we try to perfect, because out there you don't get an opportunity to perfect it. Out there you need to do it. So we have an opportunity out here to train at our peak so that we can be out there and be ready for whatever happens.
A contingent of the 41st Rescue Squadron is out here in Lancaster, Texas to practice something we call basic helicopter maneuvering, which is essentially flying our helicopters and using our own tactics against an adversary helicopter.
Specifically what's sitting behind me is the Mi-24. It's a Hind helicopter that it's a threat replication that we can't get anywhere else. There's only a few that exist in the country, and we were able to come out here and fight against an actual threat helicopter. So we get an accurate representation both visually and aerodynamically of a threat helicopter that we can't get anywhere else.
So the HH-60 whiskey has never been put into this kind of scenario before. This is the first time that we're testing the whiskey out against an adversary like this, against the Hind. So it's really proving our techniques and the way that we're able to employ the whiskey and getting us one step closer to be comfortable in taking it into combat.
If we find ourselves in a theater that has a bunch of Hinds, and Hinds are very prolific throughout the world, this will better prepare us to not have to replicate anything outside of training like we normally would at Moody. We get to fly the real thing, we get to see the real capabilities and real limits of the aircraft.
With all kinds of aircraft, the whiskeys have specific advantages, and the Hind have advantages as well. The Hind is a lot bigger, weighs a lot more, and it goes a lot faster than the whiskeys do. But the whiskeys are better in other ways, so we're a little smaller, a little more nimble. We have a little bit more maneuverability, so we'll be putting that to the test and trying to use the advantages we have.
When we take a two-ship of helicopters, we take the responsibilities that a flight lead has and our special missions aviators in the back, and we combine all of that crew resource management to physically maneuver formation through the sky against another helicopter. So in this case, that's the Hind, but it's a very different feel when you're having to maneuver, manage a formation as a flight lead or direct a formation as a special mission aviator in the back when there's an actual threat aircraft coming towards you. It's very easy during normal training sorties to do this choreographed, pre-briefed, scripted kind of thing in your aircraft and within the formation. It's much more difficult when you add in that third player, in this case a Hind, that everyone in the formation, like if they can take, at any point in time, they can take what's called TAC lead and make a directive call that may be what saves the formation. So this training is an opportunity to really bolster people's confidence and let them know when they need to speak up, take that TAC lead, make a directive call that could be the difference between a formation coming back or not.